99X in the Morning X is back from a nice fat vacation because I plan with the Barnesology Vacation Planning Tool, which you can find on the Morning X page at 99x.com. Right now, Sleaze, brought to you by McDonald's. Archways to Opportunity helps employees achieve their dreams. If you want to learn more, just visit mcdonalds.com or archways-to-opportunity.com.
I kind of have a feeling that we're going to have opposing views on this story.
Ooh, which one?
Well, obviously the sad news about James Vanderbeek passing away. I know we both felt really bad about that.
It was awful.
Survived by his wife and 6 children.
You think I have a problem with the fact that he passed away?
No, but this next story.
Oh,
a report has,
what?
Because a GoFundMe was set up.
Oh.
And you had people like Steven Spielberg gave $25,000. Zoe Saldana, she is giving $2,500 a month.
It's controversial.
Yes, to the GoFundMe, because a report came out that he purchased his 36-acre property in January through an off-market deal. His rep clarified that he used funds secured through a trust, but he was aided by friends to transition from renting to a mortgage for this Texas ranch. Now, I know a lot of people out there are saying, why didn't they disclose this? Perez Hilton's been all over it. And I'm like, well, first of all, you have a mourning widow, okay? She is mourning. And the medical bills are astronomical.
Yeah.
So there's no reason that all of a sudden, someone sets up a GoFundMe that she needed to say something. And by the way, she still has all these bills to pay.
Yeah, I'm torn on it. I don't want to be insensitive, but I do think that was a key thing that maybe, because the PR people now are out with the story, I feel like if they would have been more upfront, it would have caused less backlash. Don't get me wrong. I know she needs the money.
The cost of the medical care is they astronomical.
Also have a home in, I believe, Bel Air.
Yeah, well, here's what some of the people are saying online. One person says, sell the mansion first. They own a house in L.A. That they rent out for $144,000 a year. And then somebody said the timing of the launch, coming on the very day of his death, rubbed them the wrong way. And then others are saying the story highlighted, the nature of just American health care. The fact that he's been broke.
It's tough.
It is
the whole
tough,
thing it's a tough story, but the way that came out, and Perez Hilton was all over it fast.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but people are now mad at him because he's been so insensitive about it.
But a lot of people are also mad at the situation. I don't know if any of the people it was a protected GoFundMe, by the way, I believe. I forget the name they put on it, where if you find out some sort of information that makes you want to take the donation back, I don't believe anyone has. It's over what? I mean, last I checked, over $2 million.
Yeah,
way over.
Yes, it is over $2 million. The medical bills, again, are astronomical. She has 5 children.
You
and
can't
by the way,
relate.
if Steven Spielberg wants to give $25K, which is like,
I think it's 6 children. I think
6 children.
6.
Then okay,
it's tough.
It's none of our business.
Yeah, cancer sucks, and you can't unless you've been through that with a family member and spent that kind of money. I guess those are the people that are complaining. They just don't know. But I don't have. What part did you think I was going to have a problem with?
There's just the fact that it wasn't disclosed that he actually owns the ranch.
Yeah, that little part, I mean, I would say if I had made a big donation, I'd be like, why didn't they downsize, 36-acre? You could have got a lot of money for that.
I think Perez needs to shut up on this one.
Yeah, he's been aggressive, big time.
How about this story? Forensic specialists claiming Kurt Cobain's death was a homicide.
Yeah, we're having the girls on later this week or early next week that launched this whole thing.
I mean, this is pretty crazy. Is that Michelle Wilkins?
Is that Michelle Wilkins? I'm looking at LT.
This is an independent researcher.
Yeah, Michelle, that's who it is.
Yes. She thinks that the death was orchestrated. She said to me, it looks like someone staged a movie and wanted you to be absolutely certain this was a suicide. The receipt for the gun is in his pocket. The receipt for the shells is in his pocket. The shells are lined up at his feet. So we are going to go deep with her.
A lot of people launched into action when that happened like a week ago. It's a crazy story, but we'll talk to her, meet her later, either later this week or early next week.
Because she's saying suicides are messy and this was a very clean scene. And when you see that and you're like, wow, you know what? That's actually true.
Well, people have been whatting for 30 years or however long it's been, about that situation. There were all kind of skeptics from the
Hey,
outset.
when you were a kid, did you read in school Lord of the Flies?
Well, you could have stopped at "Did you read?" I would have probably said no. I just listened. I'm sure I did at some point, or I read a paragraph about it.
You would have remembered. I mean,
did.
it was disturbing. Now there's going to be a mini series. It's already been released by BBC One, and it hopefully will be coming over to the States. And by the way, it influenced Yellow Jackets. If you remember Yellow Jackets, right? Well, I want you to watch this trailer. It is really disturbing.
We're having a meeting. Come join in. We're on an island and there's no people here. Does that sound like 8 jobs? Yes, I'd like to be chief.
There's more Netlands than I remember when we planned.
We need to think about food and shelters. We need to help each other. We need to be good campmates. We're going to hunt pigs and get meat for everybody.
Don't you feel it, Jack? When you're in the forest, when you're on your own.
I am a hunter. You're the chief. You're a failure. I don't want this. I never wanted this.
Hasn't Lord of the Flies inspired a lot of movies?
Probably. If you don't know, it's a group of British schoolboys stranded on a desert island who descend into savagery. I mean, it's really kind of like Yellow Jackets, which inspired it. But yeah, that miniseries is out now, hopefully coming to the States. Barnes, there's all sorts of controversies. Can I get into another one?
Yes, of course, always.
Okay, well, Gene Simmons making this comment that hip-hop doesn't belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. A lot of people are coming out saying, Gene, you don't know what you're talking about. One being Mr. Chuck D.
Gene Simmons seems to say this every 3 years anyway. And I guess when the latest group of hip-hop artists and rap music artists come in, you know, he's going to issue his point. I mean, he's a rock god, you know. But what he fails to realize is that it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And everything else other than rock, when rock and roll splintered in the 60s, is the roll. And soul music, reggae, hip-hop, which is rap music, you know, because hip-hop is a culture. So it embodies, you know, sight, sound, story, and style. But music, the vocal on top of the music has already been determined. So that's the roll, that's the flow, that's the soul in it. Kiss are rock gods, but they don't have a lot of roll to them. I'm black, born in 1960. Being told that I don't belong doesn't even faze me.
You forgot to mention Morning X listener Chuck D.
Oh, yeah, he used to call us on the request line all
the
the time.
time.
Let's get him back on the phone.
Yeah, good dude.
The other controversy is Wuthering Heights. You know, it came out this weekend. It's number one at the box office.
A lot of sex in that, Fram?
34 million. Well, it looks like they probably could have had sex on all of the photo shoots they've been doing. Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie. I mean, it's got sex written all over it. But now people are like, it doesn't stand true to the original story because there's been so many adaptations. And the original Heath was like supposed to have dark skin. So now people are all upset at this revision of Wuthering Heights. And now people are going online and criticizing it and saying it doesn't hold true, blah, 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 blah.
Even with all the sex, you ain't getting me into that one.
Oh, you'd never go to that.
Wuthering Heights? Yeah.
Take a deep breath. That is your Celebrity Sleaze.
Hi, I'm Joe Saul-Sehy, host of the Stacking Benjamins podcast. Every week, we talk personal finance trends.
I think it's tough finding like a stock certificate from 1987 in Grandpa's drawer. Wait until you need the Face ID to unlock Cash App.
It's so sad what money does to people.
It happens. That's why you don't tell anybody what you got.
That guy had the brilliant idea. I don't want my relatives to know how much money I have. So every time I go to Thanksgiving, I ask them if I can borrow more.
Stealth wealth.
Stacking Benjamins. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.